Hey guys, welcome to another video. So in this video, we are going to talk about what is IDOR or Insecure Direct Object Reference. So we're going to talk about how do you find a IDOR issue in a web application. So IDOR is one of the pretty common issue that has been reported by the multiple security researcher to get a huge bounty out of it. So I'm going to give you all those things steps by steps, like how to find an IDOR, how to report and raise your bounty by raising the severity, how you can chain it with different other vulnerability, how you can basically exploit an IDOR issues for like making more money out of it or getting higher pay out of it, right? So we're going to talk about the impact and severity. I'm also going to show you one of the live demo for IDOR issues and like multiple, so one of the bug bounty POC also if we get some time, and to show you how you can use Burp Suite extension to find an IDOR issue also. So do watch this video till the end to get the overall idea. Also, if you are new to my channel, please go ahead and smash the subscribe button to get all those new videos that I post pretty much regularly on information security. Also, I've seen a lot of guys actually writing comment in Facebook or maybe even liking in Facebook groups. So do write in the YouTube box if you have any query. Also, if you have if you like my videos, do like and share with your friends so that they can get idea about this particular issue or IDOR issue for this particular video. So let's jump ahead and understand what is IDOR. So insecure direct object reference is one of the vulnerability in which a particular parameter value is associated with the user details. Now let me give you one of the simple example to understand it. Consider there is a classroom where there is multiple students are there and teachers have their portal to know the students details like their phone number, their home address, their parents name and all those things, right? Now all those teacher has to do is know the student's roll number or the unique ID basically, and based on that the teacher go to the portal which is typically designed by the college or school whatever. Now they just provide the roll number of the particular student and they get to see all those details of the particular students. Now this is where this IDOR concept or IDOR insecure direct object reference vulnerability can come. Now the typically if you think the particular roll number ID is basically is an parameter value which is associated with the students details like their phone number and all those things. So one object is basically getting triggered whenever someone is typing or passing through a parameter value. Now let's go ahead and understand this issue through this particular graph. So if you could see here, I have listed 101, 1002, 1003, 1004. Now consider a scenario that you are basically looking or you found out one of the parameter where a value 1003 is passing and you get to see the user details. Now out of curiosity what you have to do is basically change this 1003 to 1002, or let's say one number decrease or one number increase. Typically you should decrease one number to see the previous user details or not. Now if you are able to see some different user details, then you are actually in the right direction to find an IDOR, because you would be able to see some different user, like again it depends on the different privileges or different user value that you are able to see in front of your screen. So yeah, so if you are able to fetch some different user details, then you have an IDOR. I have already explained about this IDOR issue in like my API security, so do go ahead and watch those videos so that you can better idea. Also if you don't know about one of the other issue which is linked with IDOR, that is your parameter pollution, probably I will cover that in some other day so that we can get some better idea. Let me fire my tool, that is your Burp Suite, to get an overall idea how does this IDOR look like to see in a practical way. So over here I have my Burp Suite running, so I'll just click on open browser and show you one of the live demo. I'm going to take one of my favorite website, that is demo.testfire.net, which is pretty much demo.testfire.net, which most of the people knows already. Now if you see here, consider this is a banking portal, right? It's a vulnerable, I know, but let's assume that for learning purpose this is a banking portal. Of course you can try on your own whatever demo that I show, and I'm going to log in as speed. And once the user basically logged in, that's fine, you could see that view account details, and it is basically passing a particular value name as 8 lakhs, right? So if you go ahead and search for this, you could see that this is the particular balance this particular user is having, that is your $59,102. Or if you could notice in the URL, you can see that this particular value that it is passing is 80,006, or sorry, 8 lakh 6, right? So what you have to do is basically change the value to 8 lakh 5 and see whether you are able to see some different user or not, or user details or not. So if you could see here, we have a clearly short for, or we have a clear cut IDOR over here, because we can see the other user details also, like some different user who is having $25 in his bank account. Now if I change the value to like 4 and see whether if I can see some different user details, yes, I can see some different other user details or not. So this is one of the typical example where you are most likely to find an IDOR by just manipulating a particular parameter value. Now please note that it is not always this much simple to find an IDOR. Sometimes you have to play around with the method also, like you have to change the get to like post method, or you can think like put method related a particular ID value typically works. Things like delete also, sometimes you have to delete a user by passing a user ID value, then you can also use this delete method and see whether you are able to delete some different user or not. Now note one more thing, that there are things known as blind IDOR also. So what exactly is blind IDOR? So blind IDOR is something like whenever you are able to see some, or you don't able to see actually the response for a particular user. Now let me take this example also over here. Things like if you have this user delete functionality where you just provide an user delete and user ID equal to, let's say 1005 or something, and the user is getting deleted. But what you did out of curiosity, again you just change the 1001 value to, or let's say 5 value to 4, and you notice that the other user is actually getting deleted virtually out of the server, like it doesn't exist, right? So that might be slightly bit complicated also, but yeah, you don't see the response right there in the page, but something that has happened in the back end, and if you could see that from the different behavior of the application. So mostly these are like pretty simple to find out, you don't have to struggle much. Now let me show you the same issue through this one of the extension that I pretty much heavily use for finding out this insecure direct object reference issue. So Burp Suite has one of the extension. Let me go to my screen and show you the extension. So this name is auto repeater. Pretty cool repeater that, or extension that has been developed by your MCC group. Super awesome. Justin Moore has written this particular tool, and I guess for this you need a Jython to be present. So you can go to options and configure the Jython standalone or whatever you can, and just click on install and it will basically install. Now let's go ahead and see this tab. Here you can see this auto repeater tab that has been activated, and if you could see that I've just used this auto repeater demo. Now all you have to do is, here is the activate deactivate button, by the way, if you are not able to notice. All you have to do is add some of the rule set to detecting this IDOR. So what I'm going to see is, I'm going to say that okay, let's go ahead and add, and I'm just going to say a request string, match with the request string. Let's see this particular value over here is your, yeah, 804, and yeah, okay. So there are multiple other parameters or different parameters that you can use basically, like remove cookie and things like request body and all those things. So I'm just over here using this request string, and all I'm going to change this particular value to, let's say 801, and see whether I can see some different response or not. So what this particular tool is going to, or this extension is going to do is basically in the backend it will send this 801 value as soon as you find out 804 value. So let's go ahead and run this particular like URL and see whether this tool is activating or not. So if you could see that I have just now used this or refreshed this particular URL, and in the back end the tool has basically gone ahead and sent this particular value with a different value. So if you could see that difference, the 4 is being like replaced with 1. So if you see this like line difference, this is how you can see, right? So the value is basically getting modified, and you can also see some of the value for that particular user. Now it is always good if you could render and just see the value. Again, I will try to show you the same value. Now please just ignore this hack vector. I will make another video on that hack vector extension. So if you could see that, you could see some different user value that is having your 801 and some balance like 21, yeah, 2,15,000 USD or something like that, right? So this is one of the simplest way of using this extension. All you have to do is like find out a parameter that you suspect to be vulnerable to, or maybe possible vulnerable to your IDOR, and just replace that value with some different value. And yeah, this is one of the simplest way of detecting IDOR. You can also detect things like privilege escalation using this. So I'm going to make another video like how you can detect privilege escalation, like horizontal or vertical privilege escalation, just by using this extension. Also you can use this auto rise extension, which I'll be making soon another video on that. So I hope you would have got some idea about how what is this IDOR and how you can basically find out this particular issue. Please note that IDOR, if you are finding in one of the place in an application, most likely the other part of the applications are also possibly vulnerable to this kind of attack. So if you find one instance of IDOR, do not basically give up. Do check out for other places also. Wherever you see some parameter value or something like that, I'm sure you will definitely get more IDOR, or you will get more IDOR instances, or you can also increase your bounty to be something like more than $1,000. So I hope you would have got some idea. Let's go through another live POC so that you can get a better idea, which has been actually founded by one of my younger brother, who has found this IDOR in multiple instance in same site, and he has got a bounty around, I think, 800 USD or something like that. So he has basically found this particular issue in Edmodo. So if you could see here, he's just checking for the user details now, and there is a feature named as add grid, or add badges basically in that particular application. Now as soon as you click on add badges and select the badges, that particular badges will be added to your profile. Now he just basically went ahead and intercepted the request. Again, he has used this Larry Lu. Don't use Larry Lu. Again, my personal advice. So yeah, so if you could see in the request, like the particular badge ID value that is been passing through. So all he has done is send this particular value to repeater, and just for playing around with that particular value. Now if you could see here, a badge is been added right here. So all he has to do is change this particular badge ID value to some different other valid user badge ID value. Now, as soon as you could see, the request is submitted, the badge ID is getting reflected, or the value is basically getting submitted for different batch. So this is one of the simple issue where he has got an unauthorized access to a particular badge, which might be created for a different particular user, or might not be even existing for in that particular group. Now after editing, if you go back to the UI, like just refresh the particular page, then you could see that multiple badges are being basically added to this particular user, because he just played around with like adding different badges which doesn't even exist for that particular user. So he just got an unauthorized access to like different badges of different user also. Now here there is the remote badge from the gradebook. I would encourage you to try that and see whether you are actually able to delete some different other user badges or not. Yeah, just 10 pro tips that you can take and see if you can get some bounty out of it. So I hope you guys would have liked this particular video. Do let me know in the comment box if you have any other query or something, and do subscribe to my channel, do share this video, and have a nice time. Bye bye, see you soon.